I'd like to welcome everyone to the regular town board meeting for Thursday, May 21st. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I just want to remind everybody of the exits. There's 2 exits on both sides of the room in the back, and there's 1 exit over here in case of emergency. I also want to remind everybody to put their cell phones on vibrate or turn them off for the meeting. That would be appreciated. With that, I'll ask the town clerk for roll call.
Yes. Councilman Cypress?
Here.
Councilman Larka?
Here.
Councilwoman Lewis? Absent. Councilman Mazzata?
Here.
Supervisor Castellano?
Present. Okay, number 1 on our meeting tonight is our public hearing. We have 301 Milltown Road. So I'll make a motion to open that public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Joe, I'm going to recuse myself from voting on anything with, and being part of the 301 Milltown Road application because I live within 600 feet of the project. So I'll step out of the room right now.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. We're still waiting for Mr. Peter Scott, our engineer on the project. Will we be able to get a brief adjournment?
Sure. Does the board be okay with that? So we'll put you towards, when he shows up, we'll figure it out at that point, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. So then we're going to move on to the second item that was on for public hearing, which is 440 Milltown Road. Unfortunately, we don't have all the mailings in order, and it came to us in advance, so we're not going to be able to open that public hearing. So,
Just as a FYI, I'll also be recusing myself from that approval. That one's actually 200 feet from my house.
is there anybody here that wanted to speak on that one? Well, I know you showed up here, so yeah. Certainly, we're going to have it again later, but if you want to make a quick comment, I'm going to allow you to do so. If you're the only one speaking on that one?
Yeah, I'm the project engineer, so I don't know if you want to just go through the
Oh, well,
project
Presentation-wise, I'd say no.
yeah, presentation-wise, you can't until we get everything in order and get you here correct fashion. Will?
And I think it's actually important, was pointed out by our planner, that you have a number of items that are outstanding. Secret is not complete on 440, so it may be premature to even have a public hearing. When that's all complete, if you then request to get on this town board's agenda for a public hearing, then you can do the mailings that are required, and we'll republish it in the newspaper.
Agreed, I just didn't want it to not show up, I saw it on the agenda.
No, that's fine.
That was,
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a good night. Okay, with that, we're going to move on to the regular work session. So number 1 on our agenda tonight for discussion is Verizon Fios, the possibility of an expansion of video cable services. We have Pamela Goldstein here tonight. Yes, could you come up to our podium, introduce yourself, and tell us what you're proposing?
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board, and members of the community. My name is Pamela Goldstein. I'm an associate general counsel at Verizon. I will just tell you, I had major dental work this week, so my appearance is off, and so is my speech, so please bear with me. Verizon, through its unique position as a phone company, was able to build facilities to provide broadband and phone services in the public rights-of-way in the town. Today, Verizon has built out approximately 72% of Southeast, and all it needs to provide competitive cable service for the first time in 40 years is a cable franchise agreement. If Verizon were to start the project now, it would take approximately 3 years to build out that 72%. As you know, I submitted to the town a proposed agreement for your consideration, and I will be very happy to negotiate that with you. New York State has a level playing field requirement, which basically means that the town can award a cable franchise to another company that has terms that are materially less onerous than the terms contained in the incumbent agreement. So that really serves as the ceiling and the floor for what we negotiate. Or that, an agreement that you'd negotiate with any other cable company.
Okay. Well,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Ms. Colton, Verizon hasn't been interested in pursuing a cable agreement for probably 20 years or so that the town's been asking. Like, what's changed that you're interested in it?
In October, we got a new CEO. And a lot of the senior leadership has changed, and people are looking at things in a different light.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think residents would welcome it. I'm not familiar with the details of agreements at all, and I see that, the proposal is based on different components of the services. Is what you suggested kind of the normal, which services you included in the percentages? Is that pretty standard, or is that part of negotiable? Like, there's different parts of the bill that get the rebate or the fee on.
I'm not understanding your question.
I can jump in maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe
So-
you could say there, but.
With our current provider, we get a franchise fee, and we get a breakout of what that is. I think your agreement says that it's we would get back like 5% of certain portions of the bill or the services on the bill.
Oh, you mean the bill? I thought you said build, B-U-I-L-D.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what threw me
No.
off.
Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
It would be 5%. We pay on all video, Fios TV gross revenue.
Okay, so we do get a detailed bill from, is it Xfinity or Comcast? I don't even know what we have. I don't have it. Is it
It's the same, but.
Okay, whatever it is. We get a detailed breakout when they do the revenue share, or they pay the franchise fees of what line items on the bill we get the 5% for. So it would be helpful if we could get a breakdown of an example of a bill and what that 5% would look like, so we could just compare it to what we're being paid today by Verizon, or by Xfinity or Comcast.
Are you asking for a sample franchise fee remittance statement?
Sure, yeah.
I could
Assuming it has the breakdown.
It does have the breakdown. I could certainly provide that in the course of our negotiations with the numbers redacted.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
Yep.
Great.
Yep, that's all I had. Thanks for helping me.
I had another question. In the agreement, it says that we would receive, we would be charged marginal cost for services for town-owned or municipally owned buildings. Is that correct? And it would be helpful. I think we're getting some of that for free from Xfinity. So I think that's something we would like to discuss, but a little more detail on what marginal is and how many of our properties, or all of our properties, would qualify for that.
Well, in 2019, the FCC issued an order that basically said, among other things, that if a cable company is paying a 5% franchise fee, then they should charge marginal cost for the in-kind services that they provide to municipalities. And the biggest in-kind service is really the free cable service to public buildings. And that's when, if you look at our old franchise agreements, you won't see all of that language in section 3.3, but in the years after the order was issued, we had to modify our language. Right now, Verizon doesn't charge any municipality marginal cost. So I can't even tell you what that is, but we certainly have to comply with the law, and
I'm not sure if I
we
follow.
do, every cable company has the right to charge marginal cost for that service if they're paying a 5% franchise fee, not just to Southeast, but across the nation.
Okay, and what is the marginal?
I don't know what that is because we're not doing that right now.
So then we would pay the full amount? I'm
If-
confused.
No,
If you're
we-
required to do it, but you're not doing it, I'm not following.
Right, we haven't implemented that change yet. So when we do provide the service to public buildings in our Fios TV footprint, We are providing them right now for free.
Oh, okay. And that would continue?
It has been continuing, but again, we have the right under federal law to make the change.
Okay.
So the potential cost would be
The marginal-
zero or marginal?
The marginal cost of basic, it's a very basic service, and it's not meant for public viewing.
Is it have, so it's just TV, it's not internet? I was
No,
really
it's
concerned
not
about
internet, and this franchise agreement only governs cable TV service.
Okay, understood, that's very helpful.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, with the Xfinity, we're actually getting a discount or free internet. But, yeah.
We don't do that.
Okay.
I just had a few more questions, and by the way, I'm in favor, I think it's fantastic, there'll be another game in town. I've been on this board a long time, and we actively send emails to Verizon with no response, so this is exciting.
Well, I've answered a few myself that came from this town over the years, so.
Okay. In the contract, it says you can terminate within 180 days for basically any reason, or at least that's the way I interpreted what it says. If people sign up for the service and it's not as lucrative as you want, or you decide you don't want to support it anymore, can you just back out in 180 days, and what happens to the people that have signed on for that?
We would
service?
obviously, we would very much want to keep them as subscribers to our other services, so we would make the transition plan as seamless as possible, and quite probably offer another video solution, probably a YouTube TV or another, which we currently offer, or some kind of offer to keep, Verizon's not going to want to cut them loose as customers completely, so
Okay.
we would try to make it as seamless for the customer as possible and work with them so that they could transition to the competitor.
Okay, I would probably make a recommendation that we make that a longer period of time, just so, it doesn't become an issue for our residents. And then this is for a 5-year plan. Would that, does that get renegotiated after the 5-year plan?
Yes, and the beauty of a 5-year agreement is that under federal law, the renewal window opens 3 years before expiration of the term. So we would enter into this agreement, it would be confirmed by the PSC, and then 2 years later, we could start talking about a renewal.
Okay. All right, that's very helpful. That covers all my questions.
Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? Just to understand you correctly, if all goes well and we come to some kind of agreement, it wouldn't start until another 3 years? Was that what you were saying earlier?
Oh, no, it would start a lot sooner
It
than
would
that.
start-
They just got to flip the switch.
Once we reach an agreement, then the town will hold a public hearing,
Yep.
preceded by notice in the newspaper, 10 days in advance of the hearing. And then hopefully you would approve the agreement. Verizon has to file a petition to the Public Service Commission to confirm the agreement. That process can take a few months. Because it's a new franchise agreement, probably 1 to 2 would be my guess at this
Okay.
point. Renewals take a lot longer.
Mhm.
And then, once it's confirmed by the PSC, it becomes effective, and Verizon can turn on the FiOS TV service.
Fantastic.
The 3 years was if they started the fiber build out today.
Okay.
But
Right.
they're already at 72%.
Got it. Well, it's good news. I'm sure the residents would like to see another option available to them, so.
I would hope
Sure.
so.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody would be very excited about that. Okay. I think that's all our
Thank you.
questions.
Okay?
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
coming
much
out.
for the chance to come speak
Yeah.
to you tonight.
We'll be talking to you very soon, I'm sure.
Fantastic.
Take
I
our
look
next
forward to
steps.
hearing from you.
All right. Have a good night. Okay. You guys are not ready yet, right? Peter's not
We don't
here?
have anyone else to call, but we're still waiting.
Okay, very good. So we're going to move on our work session here. Discussion, we have Dignelli subdivision tax map 45-2-46, 45-2-47, and 45-2-48 for a special permit. Thanks for coming out tonight, guys. If you could introduce yourselves.
Good evening. My name is Victor Soleric, VKS Architects. Ralph Alfonsetti Engineering, and Dean Nignelli, the owner. We are here at the recommendation of the planning board. We have been working with the planning board, and I think we're getting closer to get their approval, but there is a proposed use in the new building on the property that will require a special use permit. That is the vehicle repair for public use. And just briefly, I'll describe the building.
Before you start, what's the street address of this? I think it's tax map I used.
361 Route 312.
Okay, thank you.
It's a single-story building of 10 truck storage bays with a small mezzanine in the back. The mezzanine actually faces Route 312, and from that point of view, it's only a single-story building about 12 feet high. The high bays for the truck parking are oriented to the inside of the property. So 50% of the building basically will be used by Mr. Dignelli for his own business, and 5 bays will be used for the truck repair. There was an extensive traffic study done that looked at all the trips generated and all the circulation of the vehicles. There is another building on the property that it currently has a truck repair shop and another tenant. They have been there for a long time and don't seem to have a conflict with anything that's going on here. So the planning board has studied it in detail, and we're here to hear your feedback.
Question.
Any comments?
I reviewed all the planning board documents, and I was a little confused about the special permit, I guess because it kept referring to the existing water repair. So the special permit is to do repair in this new building? Okay, and the other building has a special permit?
The other building is for a private company, currently Asenico is a tenant.
Just for doing their own repairs?
For their own repairs.
Got it, okay, makes sense. That's what I was confused about, thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay. We will try to set the public hearing for next month. It's on our agenda. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Should we stick around for when you?
If you like, it's up to you. It doesn't seem like there's much objection. I'm sure we'll go through. But we'll wait on the vote if you like. It's a little further down on the agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 3 under our work session is discussion for online application processing. I'll turn over to our town clerk.
So I was talking to some of our other town clerks, and there's a couple of towns that do online applications. They still process everything in the office, but the application is actually submitted online. It's through a company called Permidium. There would be, if we were to do it, there would be a link on my page to this website that they can process. They could do dog licenses, requests for marriage records, death records, birth records. We could have it do the food trucks, and pretty much anything. There's no cost to the town. There is normally a $500 setup fee that they're waiving, and it's pretty seamless. Mount Pleasant does it right now already. They've been doing it for a couple of years, and Bedford is in the process of starting with them. So I wanted to let you guys know about it because I think it would be a great option to add for people to, instead of trying to get here between 9 and 4:30, they have the option to be able to submit online. There is a fee for doing it that is how Permidium gets paid.
That was my question.
Yep.
Why is it free?
Yeah. So it's a nominal fee. It's depending on, the amount of money that is for the bill. It's so like anything up to $12 is a $3 fee. $20 is a $3 fee, and it goes up from there. But I just thought it was a great way to offer another option for people who are, have a hard time, or if you live out of state and you need your marriage record. Right now, they have to download our application, they have to provide us with the backup documents, they have to get stuff notarized, all of that ID verification is done through the website. So they don't have to have that notary. They have that capability in the website, which.
And this is just for your office, nothing impact the other projects?
No, this just happened to fall into my lap, and I just thought it was a great thing to add to my office, yeah. We're still working on the other.
You had me at free.
I know. They had me at free also.
Well, it's a great thing also for the residents that
Yep.
don't have to come here during business hours and don't have to take off work to do something like that. So I think it's a great thing. Certainly we should continue investigating.
Fee is paid by the consumer, the customer?
Yes.
Yep. Peter?
Peter Bell, zoning enforcement officer. Could that be utilized to have title companies email us titles and pay by credit card?
I can ask.
And whether or not that could be done with any of the other building department forms that we get payments for?
So, you're talking like residential application or commercial? So right now, we are looking at ways to do online permit processing for the building department for their applications that are entered into Municity.
Yeah, the title though, they're still doing it by snail mail. And they're sending us an envelope with the stamp on it so we can send it back to them snail mail. I think that it would speed up the process a lot if we could include that in this whole system.
I can definitely ask. There is an option also to charge for the shipping of the documents. If you could do it either regular mail or a priority option. So I can check to see. So they wouldn't have to provide the envelope. It would be paid for as part
I
of
feel
their.
this is a wasted step. And plus we'll get the income in quicker, plus the municipal search gets done sooner because it takes 3 to 5 days for us to get the actual request and the check.
Okay.
So if it can be
I'll
done
ask.
electronically, quicker money.
Okay,
I can ask.
thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Unless there's any other questions or comments? Okay. So with that, I guess we're gonna, still not ready, right?
I think we haven't heard from Mr. Scott, so we'll proceed.
That'll be fine. So I'll make a motion to open the public hearing for, sorry.
Should we
Do you want to go
get
through the
through?
whole thing?
I mean, again, I'm supposed to recuse myself here, but I think the engineer should hear the feedback from the public. If we could,
We can wait.
Okay, do you know, he is coming, right? I don't,
He hasn't answered.
Very odd.
all right, well,
Very odd.
I don't know if he did an name, he hasn't been.
all right. We'll hold off then until the end of the meeting. So we'll move on to the regular meeting at this point. I'll make a motion to open the regular meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, on to the regular meeting. Item number 1 is correspondence. I'm going to make a motion to waive the reading of the correspondence. Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2 is approval of the voucher list. I'm going to make a motion to approve the voucher list in the amount of $1,811,193.87. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 3 is the budget transfers, where I'll make a motion to waive the reading of the budget transfers and accept such transfers as submitted. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item number 4 is the supervisor report. I did speak to the finance department. We're in very good shape still. Have to make a couple of adjustments because, again, the snow removal is still looming on us from back in January and February, but we're in very good shape otherwise. Just to bring people up to date, we did The State Comptroller's Office did show up today for an audit of our IT systems. It went very well on day one, and it's going to continue for the next 3 months. They're going to review our systems, make sure everything's in order, and give us recommendations if necessary, but feel pretty confident that the town is in good shape there as well. Of course, Tenetta Lake is opening this weekend for the beach, if anybody's interested. Unfortunately, the weather's not that great for Memorial Day weekend, but hopefully the weather picks up and the lake looks beautiful. The park is in fantastic shape. I hope everybody goes out this summer and enjoys it.
Joe, did John get the ultrasonic, whatever's going yet, or no?
Not yet. I
Okay.
thought that was coming up in the next week or two.
Okay.
Okay. And the town, we tried to decorate some of our properties. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but One Main Street has some bunting put on. The gazebo is getting ready for the ceremonies on Monday at Memorial Day at the Veterans Park over there. Hope you guys can go out and enjoy. We tried to decorate this building a little bit as well, so I want to reach out to our facilities department who did a great job of putting all that together. I think the building looks great. I hope you guys can enjoy it and you know, take part in some of these Memorial Day celebrations this weekend. Brewster has a great one right in the village where the veterans get together and do a great ceremony on Memorial Day. I believe it's at 11 a.m. on Monday. So that's my report. I'll move on to item number 5. We're going to set the meeting dates and public hearings. So with that, all meetings will be held at 1360 Route 22 in Brewster, New York at 7 o'clock unless otherwise noted for Thursday, June 4th, 2026 and Thursday, June 18th, 2026. So I'll make a motion to set those dates. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to item number 6, I'm going to make a motion to set a public hearing for Dignelli subdivision that we just heard from, tax map 45-2-46, 45-2-47, and 45-2-48, a special permit for Thursday, June 18th, 2026.
Second.
Make that motion,
Sorry.
seconded Cypress. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll also make a motion to set a public hearing for filming in the town of Southeast. This will be on Thursday, June 4th, 2026. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, item number 8 on our list here tonight is a resolution to adopt local law 3/2026 moratorium on certain uses. So I'd like to make a motion to bring this forward. Be it resolved that the proposed local law to declare a temporary moratorium and to review and approve of certain commercial uses in a Type 2 action pursuant to the provisions of New York State Environmental Quality Review, and no further environmental review is required, and it be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby adopts local law number 3 of 2026 pursuant to the municipal home rule law amending chapters 54 and 138 of the town code, enacting a temporary moratorium on the construction or development of any properties which incorporates the establishment of a data storage facility or the use or utilization of any premise or for the primary or principal use as a data storage center or facility, and that such moratorium shall also apply to further review of any such applications currently filed with or pending before the building department or the planning board of the town of Southeast, included but not limited to any applications for building and occupancy permits or the issuance of any such permits for any use described to incorporate the establishment of a data storage center or facility, and be it further resolved that this local law shall take effect immediately upon the filing with the Secretary of State of New York, and be it further resolved that the town clerk be hereby is authorized and directed to A, enter said local law into the minutes of this meeting and the code book of the town of Southeast, and B, give due notice of the adoption of said local law by filing with the Secretary of State of New York within the time required by law. So, I'll make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 9 is the adoption of a local law 4 of 2026, amending Town Code Chapter 103, peddling and soliciting. With that, be it resolved that the proposed local law to amend Chapter 103 of the Town Code is a Type 2 action pursuant to the provisions of the New York State Environmental Quality Review, and no further environmental review is required. And be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Southeast is hereby adopts local law number 4 of 2026 pursuant to the municipal home rule law amending Chapter 103 of the Town Code entitled peddling and soliciting by adding this new section 103-18 to permit property owners to place a no solicitation sign and to establish a do not knock registry to be maintained by the town clerk, and is further resolved that this local law shall take effect immediately upon filing this with the Secretary of State of New York, and be it further resolved that the town clerk hereby is authorized and directed to A, enter a said local law in the minutes of this meeting and the code book of the town of Southeast, and B, give due notice of the adoption of said local law by filing with the Secretary of State of New York within the time period required by law. With that, I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 10, resolution special permit request for Back O Beyond Incorporated, More Far Golf Club membership, golf club use in R160 zone. So, with that,
It's a long one.
Need a water?
thank you. Take a little break. Okay. All right, therefore it be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby makes the following general findings in connection with the instant application. 1, the application and proposed use conform with the general standards and any applicable special standards of Article 10 of the zoning code, and number 2, the application is in harmony with the proposed intent of Chapter 138 of the zoning code and it allows that orderly development and peaceful enjoyment of neighboring properties. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby makes the following specific findings in connection with this instant application. Number 1, the proposed use is in such location and is in a size and character that it will be in harmony with the appropriate and orderly development of the surrounding district and will not be detrimental to the immediate site and adjacent properties. Number 2, the location and size of the proposed use, the nature and intensity of the operations involved in and or conducted in connection therein, its site layout and its relation to the access streets will be such that both pedestrian and vehicle traffic to and from the use and the assembly of persons in connection therewith will not be hazardous. Number 3, the exterior appearance of the building to be reconstructed in accordance with plan specifications approved by the Architectural Review Board will not hinder or discourage development and the use of the adjacent land and buildings. And number 4, The proposed use will not require any additional public facilities or services for the creation or create fiscal burdens upon the town greater than those which characterize uses permitted as right. And be it further resolved that based on the review of the application and the submissions in support of and in opposition to the application, the entire record before the town board and the recommendations of the planning board, site inspections, and the testimony adduced at public hearings held in connection with the application, which supports the following findings in the application of Back O Beyond Incorporated, seeking to amend the special permit to allow improvement of the existing facility and to continue the operations of the subject premise as a private membership golf club within the R160 zoning district, all in accordance with the plans and specifications filed with the planning board, is hereby granted upon the following conditions. A, no more than 50 memberships to the private membership golf course are permitted at any one time. B, the applicant shall not seek nor obtain any real property tax exemption status from the town of Southeast or the Brewster Central School District. C, that notwithstanding the provisions of 138-55F of the zoning code, the applicant may provide more than 20, may provide no more than 20 sleeping rooms without individual kitchen facilities for overnight accommodations for its members or their guests. D, all renovation, constructions, and reconstructions of facilities on the subject premise shall be done in accordance with all the applicable state and local building and fire prevention codes, and subject to the review and approval of the town's building inspector. E, that general vehicle access to the subject premise and the private membership golf course by its membership and the guests is restricted to the Federal Hill Road entrances only. F, that to the extent practicable, that shall be no use of outdoor public address systems and the subject premise, and when the use of any of these addresses systems is necessitated, no sound shall carry beyond the limits of the subject premise more than would be inherited with the ordinary residential use of the property. G, the applicant shall successfully complete its site plan and its wetlands permits application currently pending in front of the planning board. H, that this grant of special permit shall not run with the land and shall be restricted to the use of the applicant, and such special permit may not be transferred to any other unaffiliated individual or entity without prior review and approval of the town board. And be it further resolved that the findings adopted herein and this grant of special permit supersedes the grant of the special permit contained in the 1977 Special Permit Resolution 61 of 1977 of this town board. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby directed to file a certified copy of this resolution with the planning board and the building department, and send a certified copy thereof to the applicant via United States Postal Service's first-class mail forthwith. With that, I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How are you gonna do this?
Number 11 is a resolution for home rule request authorizing establishment of the Birch Hill Highview Water District. Resolved that the town board and the town of Southeast hereby request the New York State Senate and the New York State Assembly to prepare and pass appropriate home rule legislation during the 2026 legislative session, which would be authorized for the establishment of the Birch Hill Highview Water District in Assembly Bill number 11258 and Senate Bill number 10181 of the 2025-2026 legislative session. And it further resolves that the supervisor and the town clerk are authorized to execute any and all home rule request forms and any further or different documentation that may be required by the state legislature to effectuate this request. And it be further resolved that the town clerk, and she hereby is authorized to forward a copy of this resolution to the town's legislative delegation forthwith. So with that, I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item number 12. This is a home rule request authorizing leasing of certain sports field fences. Resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast hereby requests that the New York State Senate and New York State Assembly to prepare and pass appropriate home rule legislation during the 2026 legislative session, which would authorize the leasing of certain sports field fences for advertising in Assembly Bill 11098 and Senate Bill number 10077 of the 2025-2026 legislative session. And be it further resolved that the supervisor and the town clerk are authorized to execute home rule request forms of any other further or different documentation that may be required by the state legislature to effectuate this request. And be it further resolved that the town clerk be and she hereby is authorized to forward a copy of this resolution to the town's legislative delegation forthwith. With that, I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. We're still stalled with the public hearing.
Obviously, Mr. Scott is not going to come tonight, he hasn't been returning your calls. I think if the board would like engineer input, if the public has any questions, we would seek for this matter to be, the public hearing to be held over.
Okay.
Open the public hearing and let them give their presentation. and
Got it.
then if
I'll
there-
make a
if there are
motion
any
to open
questions-
up the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Mr. Larka is going to recuse himself.
Okay.
For the record, Tom Lee James, I'm the owner, developer.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name is Robert Schilling from the Law Office of Schilling and Smith. I'm appearing here tonight on behalf of the applicant, Tom Nejame, and his LLC, Nejame Nyland LLC. Mr. Peter Scott was supposed to be in attendance tonight, but he is not currently here. We come before this board tonight seeking relief pursuant to Section 280A of the town law in connection with the 4-lot subdivision. This 48-acre parcel is located at 301 Milltown Road within the R160 zone. I'm pleased to report that the planning board has already thoroughly reviewed the project, closed its public hearing, and issued a negative declaration under SECRA. Therefore, the 280A approval is the last remaining step for this project. The primary subject of our relief tonight concerns the specific road frontage requirements of R160. R160 has a minimum of 300 linear feet of road frontage. Across the entire 48-acre parcel, we possess a total frontage of about 1,650 feet. However, due to the unique layout of the property, the road frontage cannot be distributed equally. Specifically, Lot 2 provides a fully compliant 1,012 feet of frontage and Lot 4 provides a fully compliant 408 feet of frontage, having its own separate driveway. On the other hand, Lot 1 provides 238 feet of frontage, just short of the minimum, and Lot 3 has no direct frontage. To address this, the application proposes a safe and suitable common driveway arrangement to serve lots 1, 2, and 3, and we've already created that road maintenance agreement for the project. It's important to emphasize that this application has been a product of a very long and thorough process. The applicant has been on site since 2020 and purchased the property from Southeast in 2021. Over the course of several years, this matter has been before the planning board on numerous occasions. Multiple consultants were retained, many meetings were held. Neighbors, agencies have all had the opportunity at different public hearings. Throughout the whole process, the applicant has made significant and deliberate concessions in response to the public and the numerous boards. Our original proposal called for 5 lots, but we voluntarily reduced that to 4 for the presentation here tonight. Furthermore, we deliberately pushed development away from the wetlands and the neighboring parcels, the neighboring properties, lots on the nearby, for the main purpose of limiting site disturbance. Currently, of the 48 acres, only 8% is going to be utilized for the project. The shared driveway was adopted specifically as an environmentally responsible design to minimize physical impacts where we could, and avoid unnecessary road cut-ins, as you know, with this project we'll only be requiring 2 road cut-ins. Additionally, the applicant does not intend to develop all 4 lots simultaneously. It's going to be a gradual process as the lots are sold and as the people buy the lots and they're going to construct the house. Meaning that the physical disturbance will happen over time and not all in one fell swoop. We believe that this represents a highly measured approach and a modest project as a whole. Turning to the law, Section 280A of the Subdivision 3 grants this board explicit authority to issue a permit where the proposed access satisfies the area variance standards set forth in Section 267B. We have submitted a comprehensive memo of law setting forth the full legal analysis, and we rely upon that submission. As established in the New York Court of Appeals in the case of Browse v. Smith, the core standard for access under 280A is whether the proposed infrastructure provides safe and suitable ingress and egress. The engineered shared driveway before you tonight satisfies that standard. It meets all Putnam County highway requirements. It is fully accessible for all emergency vehicles, and provides plenty of site distance with 450 feet above the standard that's required by the Highway Department. When balancing the 5 area variance standards of 267B, we believe that the evidence provided in the plan as a whole meets that standard. First, because this is a residential use in a residential area with an incredibly low footprint, it is entirely consistent with the neighborhood and will produce no change in character. Second, the need cannot be reasonably obviated with an alternative method, as any other layout would actually present a greater physical hardship on the environment currently standing there. Third, the variance is not substantial. 3 of the 4 lots are compliant or near compliant. Only 1 lot lacks direct frontage, and the common driveway provides a safe and practical access point for the 3 lots as a whole. Fourth, there will be no adverse physical or environmental impact, as all the environmental issues have been addressed. Development has been positioned away from the wetlands as much as possible, and the planning board has already issued its negative declaration. Fifth and finally, the difficulty was not self-created. The layout is basically dictated by the natural topography of the property and the environmental constraints of the property. The applicant did all, with input from the community and the different boards. He put this plan together to prevent any interference with the wetland. In closing, this is an incredibly modest project, just 4 lots spread across 48 acres, leaving most of the land untouched, 92%. It is critical for the board to understand that while alternative layouts were possible and are still possible, the exact plan before you tonight represents the best option for the town. It is our belief. It offers the least amount of physical disturbance to the property, results in the fewest possible road cut-ins, and remains the approach most deeply consistent with the surrounding neighborhood. This is not a simple process that we've been through. It's well thought out, collaborative. There's been multiple public hearings in planning, a public hearing tonight, and we feel like we've acted in good faith with all the different parties. The planning board has completed its review, environmental clearance is in place, and the 280A approval is the final step in this project. We respectfully request that the board grant the relief requested. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Of course, with Mr. Scott here tonight, if there's any specific technical or engineering questions, we'll do our best. We'll do the best we can to answer those, but we might have to seek his input at a later date. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
You made it sound like the driveway is the last step, but you still need site plan approval from the planning board.
Yeah, we got the negative. Yeah, it has to go back to planning.
Right.
This
So
is
they still
before
have
before
work
the
to do.
site plan. Yeah.
And last night, I believe you went before the Historic Sites Commission. I reached out to the chairperson. She said you got approval with conditions, but she hasn't shared those yet. Is there anything you can share about last night's meeting?
No, I wasn't.
I was.
privy to that, no.
Neither of us were there, and I didn't hear anything specific from Peter. I actually don't know who was in attendance at that meeting.
Okay.
Because none of us were.
Okay. I was just curious what the conditions were. We haven't seen them yet, so.
Okay.
That's it.
Anybody in the public want to speak on this? If you can come up to the podium and tell us who you are.
My name is Julie Von Wetberg, and we live next door on the west side of that parcel. And
What is
Sorry,
your
I didn't-
address?
I didn't catch
it's
the
on, we're off Gage Road, or 12 Gage Road.
12 Gage Road, and your full name is for the record?
Julie Von Wetberg.
Thank you.
What I am, because the fourth house is the one that's right next to our property on that side. And what has changed about that site, that lot site? And is there still two driveways? That house goes out to the road on the corner?
If I could show you the map here.
Okay.
This is the location of the house. Must be your property over here. So the location of the house is here.
Yeah.
Now, the only changes that I understand occurred was some wetland mitigation that was proposed for the crossing here, because there's runoff from the road that's going down through here. And I believe they wanted some plantings and some mitigation done on this side.
On that side?
Yeah,
So did that
so
push the house further?
it did not push the house further, and the reality is, because of the zoning setback, which is 100 foot, we're looking at 105 foot. So I think, I don't believe this was moved whatsoever.
Okay. So you have a driveway coming out on that curve.
On this curve, yes.
What was the reaction from other parts of the town?
Well,
To that? It's a tough curve.
yeah, because it actually,
Podium, please. I can't see the map there.
my understanding is it was a very positive site distance. Actually, it was
Yeah, and it
double what is required.
Excuse me, can you just turn it a bit for her? So,
It meets the highway department's.
no, for her.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
thanks.
meets the highway department's sight line by well over 100 feet.
Okay.
So in other words, the actual sightline distance plus another 100 feet
Yes.
is what,
I could get you the exact number. I have it.
is actually more than what's required.
You can see how close we are to this, and we see and hear what's going on that road on Milltown. And they're obviously not doing 35. Okay, so they think that's going to work, huh, with the sight line from the drivers? Okay.
You have the goats and stuff, that's pretty cool, I like
Yes.
that.
Hopefully they'll like this. What has changed specifically in terms of situation and how this, from the last major public hearing?
The only thing that I'm aware of that has, was changed or
Mhm.
asked for was the area right,
The
right
wetlands to
up
be.
here, which is a wetland area, I guess, here. And they wanted proper mitigation, in other words, plantings and whatnot. And this corner is the property right here. Here's the main house in the middle, which we don't own. And then it's closest to where they are.
So how far, how big is that parcel that's not yours?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well, just go around it with your finger.
Right here.
Oh, that
This
one.
dotted line
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Then it goes here.
Oh,
and
so
down
that,
to here.
all of it, I see.
So all of this is not part of the project.
Okay,
All of this is part of the project.
okay. And is this area still left the way it is?
Yes, this is all one lot right here.
And on the part that touches our property, how much are you taking the trees back?
So we hope to take as little as possible. If you look at these
That would be
dotted
helpful.
lines right here,
Mhm.
you can see these lines right here?
Yep.
That represents, how far you need to be to clear the area for the septic system, which is over here.
Over there, that's good.
And then the house right here. So, definitely, we're not gonna clear cut, toward, we're gonna want the privacy as well as you.
Mhm. Okay, but that house, how far does it come in? It looks like it is going to be right behind our house
Well,
on one side.
It'll be, you're 123 feet away from the boundary.
Mhm.
And this one, this is proposed to be 105 feet away from the boundary.
I see.
So we're actually probably 23 feet closer than your house. However, you have like a driveway in the back, which.
Right close to the house.
Yeah, right close to the house there. So
And then there's a hill,
yeah, then-
slight hill.
Yeah, then there's a hill from there, yeah.
So where is that house on the hill?
On this?
Yeah.
This house, it's literally, if you're at the stone wall,
Mhm.
you go another 105 feet in, into the property,
Mhm.
and that's where the house would sit.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Hi.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Michelle Burns, I live at 395 Milltown Road, so that is adjacent to Lot 1. I guess that's on the east side. I have a few questions, and thank you for listening. I heard you mention the Historic Sites Commission, so I went to the first meeting, and I know that they had a meeting last night. I wasn't able to attend. So how would we find out about, you said it was like they approved it but with conditions, so how would we find out about?
We're going to find out about it, and certainly we're going to keep this public hearing meeting open, so we'll have it for the next meeting.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah, the chairperson needs to write it up and send it officially, but just because I knew they were coming, I called her and, but she didn't
Thank
have a
you.
ton of details. She just said it was approved with conditions, so.
Great, thank you so much. So the disturbance areas, will these be clearly identified and then monitored through clearing and construction? So I know that there was previous site work done without permits, and then there was a stop work order that was issued. So I'm just concerned that, want it to be monitored and enforced, and I know a lot of the disturbance areas it's really, I'm not an engineer, but I know they're really close, right? This is really close to the disturbance areas where they're going to be fencing and deer fencing. So how will that be monitored on an ongoing basis? Will it be checked to make sure that they're not infringing upon that disturbance area throughout the construction process?
Well, there's certainly a process that they're going to check everything before they get a CO when this is completed. So yeah, the building department will be on top of that as well. Once it's completed, then I can't speak to that.
And the reality is, when you're building, you're gonna have a surveyor come in and stake out exactly where the house is gonna be, exactly where the septic system's gonna be. The reality is, we have to conform to, what's on the plan. And, we have to literally work off of what, the surveyor would mark out. I know we ended up including some treed area for your
I
side there.
appreciate that immensely.
Which, again, it helps us
Yes.
out too, so that works well in that,
No, I
in that regard.
greatly
And
appreciate
just
that.
one point about the, stop work order thing, and construction work that was done. It actually was not construction work, to be clear. What it was simply soil tests. And they got approval from I think it was the Environmental Protection Agency to mitigate and go through the area. There was a stone wall that had an opening, but it wasn't quite big enough to get the machine through. We actually moved a few stones and whatnot. That was a big concern for the neighbors, not knowing that. And frankly, I don't know that we knew we had to do that, get a permit to do the actual soil testing. And we actually did that before I actually purchased the land from Southeast. And then we had to go back in and do some additional tests after we did, we had to do some more tests throughout the area.
Understood.
I'm just curious if you've received the DEP approval, because I know that the lot 4, there is a creek that feeds into a DEP protected water body, so I know when I had last asked that permit was, or was still.
Frankly, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, Peter would have to be the one to answer that, but I'm almost positive that is resolved.
Okay, because I know he was working on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we could just confirm if that
Yeah.
was approved. And then I think you answered this question earlier, but so not the entire 50 acres will be developed. Will there be areas that will remain conservation or undeveloped, or?
It's actually, there's one lot that's gonna be, I think it's about 22 acres. And all of which is there's a fair amount of wetland over in this area here. But I'm certain, frankly, the entire project is designed so I can have my family have a place to live. So I might be the one with the big piece. But, again, it all depends on economics and, whether my family, kids want to go there or not. It's not going to be, clear cut, go. It's going to be a step-by-step process, so that's what our plans are.
I don't think there's any plans to develop that portion, and obviously that would all need to get some approvals at that point anyway, but there's.
Yeah, down here, literally, it's going to be owned by this number 3 lot. So, absolutely no, building down in that area there at all.
I do appreciate the tree screening that you will be putting between my home and lot 1. Will this be installed prior to a COA? When would those trees go in? I guess I'm trying to ask.
I would imagine they'd go in before we'd actually do the C of O on that. It's basically you got to be able to get the lawn in, get everything all situated, the house, and then after, or actually just before the lawn was in.
Then you do the trees.
Then you'd have to do the tree work, yeah.
Okay, and then I know I heard Peter kind of going through with the Historic Sites Commission, the types of trees from the front, so I'm presuming that those are the same types that would go in adjacent to my property. And then are there assurances, I think he said it was like 3 years. If they die, they get replanted. Like, what are those, how do I ensure that like those will be taken care of?
Well, I think the real insurance comes from me.
Okay.
I don't wanna look at dead trees, so, I mean, that's gotta be, and not to mention, it's a benefit for both you and me.
Right.
So I think it's clear that, you know, if the trees die, you replace them, simple as that.
Okay.
If I could just chime in, I don't know what the time frame is, but that'll be as part of their site plan approval with the planning board that they need to replace them, so.
That'll be like included in,
Yeah.
thank you, okay. Okay, cool. And then I think I had asked, I know this was still pending, but the driveway and the location of the driveway, that was still pending approval by the county. So has that been
No,
officially
that
approved?
has been 100% resolved, that's my understanding,
Okay.
yeah.
So if we can just open that. And then lastly, just wanted to address the stone walls. So I know in the application for the planning board, like there's checked off stone wall review. Like who does that review? Is that like there's like a stone wall person, a stone wall guy? Like what, I don't know what that is.
I can't say that I know what that is either, but the stone walls are always protected in town to the
I
best of
know
our
for a
ability.
fact, you know, the way everything is laid out, it's actually to minimize any type of impact with the stone walls. And the stone walls are actually an asset to, you know, any of the home. So it's not as though we're gonna put the house in the middle of the stone wall. It's off to the side, but we do need some access. So a little bit of opening is gonna be done for that reason, but that reason alone, from what I understand.
Okay, I know Peter had mentioned that the driveway will be 16 feet wide, and that goes through the stone walls in various places, like at least like 3 to 4 places as
Yeah.
outlined.
Yeah.
So I'm just concerned with the driveway being 16 feet wide, you're disturbing a huge portion of multiple stone walls.
Yeah, the driveways, with today's regulations, you gotta be able to get a fire truck in there. It's gonna be similar to your driveway. Your driveway is probably, if you measured it, maybe just the track area is probably 12 foot.
Right, but my driveway doesn't go through stone walls. So I'm just, I
Yeah,
guess my
yeah.
question is,
Yeah.
the areas that it does kind of go through the stone walls that are
Yeah.
outlined on the map, like what is the preservation plan and the kind of,
My
you know,
understanding-
mitigation to make sure that we're not destroying
Yeah.
the stone walls or that we're rebuilding them?
Yeah, my understanding is we're gonna minimize that the best we can, but at the same time, when you're building a driveway, you have to have the proper pitches and slopes to mitigate any, you know, rainwater and stuff like that, so.
So how does that go about getting approved if it's like destroying stone walls and things like that? Like, would that be something that would have to be modified?
I'm gonna have to get you an answer for that, but I'm sure it's gonna go through the planning process,
Yeah, I think we already discussed it when we actually had a site walk there, and we pointed out the areas where we were gonna, you know, where the actual driveways would be, the driveway
Is
would
that
be.
part of the historical site review? Is
No,
that part of it?
sorry, I didn't mean to
Historic
interrupt
sites
you.
is only the first 50 feet on that road.
I see.
And everything internally that she's talking about would be planning board, so.
Yeah,
If I
Okay, so
could-
that would
if
be
I
with
could
the planning board.
interject, the planning board will have a resolution of approval, presuming they meet all the necessary requirements. In there will be a preservation plan that the applicant has to comply with. Excuse me, losing my voice. That would be monitored by the town's engineer during the course of construction.
Great, thank you so much for answering. Those are all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
unless there's anyone else who wants to comment? Okay, so we're going to keep this public hearing open.
Thank you.
Just if I could defer to Will, it should be open till the next town board meeting, or?
Yeah, I mean, it could be continued to the next town board meeting, and then if there's more information that needs to be put in the record, and you feel satisfied, you could then close the public hearing and allow for, a 5-day comment period, written comment period.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
When is the next town board meeting?
It is June 4th, Thursday, June 4th, 2 weeks from tonight. Is Councilman
He's coming.
Larka coming? There he is. We'll go back to our regular meeting. Item number 13 is new business. Does any board member have any new business they want to bring forward?
No.
I'll just say that I'm gonna call for executive session after the meeting. No action will be taken, but I'll do that. We can vote on it.
Okay. Recognition of the public for public comment. If anybody would like to speak?
Scott?
Scott, you dressed up for us tonight? You look nice.
Scott Seaman, Town of Southeast. I apologize for my tardiness. Tonight was the confirmations at St. Lawrence. So first I would ask everybody to either consider a prayer or just thought for these young men and women. And we have 30-ish today and 30-ish or so tomorrow. And these are our future, so we have to be nice to them because they're going to pick what home you people are going to live in. So take that into consideration. First, from the school board, we like to thank the community for their deliberation and acceptance of the school budget vote last Tuesday, and the selection of 3 trustees to fill their slots, 2 returning and 1 filling a shortened term. And as always, we appreciate the community, and we look forward to continuing the work. And as always, we're welcome to any information or questions from the community. On the side, individually, I would like to thank the town for the moratorium on the data centers. It's only a matter of time, so it's better to be forewarned and forearmed as opposed to scrambling. So I appreciate your thoughtfulness in regards
Scott,
to that.
Thanks for, I think you were the one that brought that forward, so thanks for bringing
Well,
it
you
to
know,
our
that
attention.
doesn't matter, as long as you people, get the work done, but we appreciate that. And also in consideration, like the special permit for Morfar, having a little clause in there protecting the town and the schools against pilots and tax exemptions. This way they pay their fair share and the community doesn't have to pick up that burden. So we appreciate that. It's a quiet time, and we thank you for your work. If there's anything we can know, please let us know. And as always, the town is a very good partner with the schools, and we appreciate it.
I thought you talked about the EV bus delay.
Oh, well, it sounds nice, but it's just they're pushing it off for 5 years. So it's 5 years left, so now everybody is stocking up on school buses for the next 5 years. I've already seen the school, but even little places uptown, they passed on to buy 1, to buy 3. I'm sure we're going to try to get as many as we can in the next couple of years, but we still have to do the infrastructure work. We still have to do the consideration, because now 35 is now 40. And to be honest, the longer these things wait, if they don't cancel it, the more it's going to cost. Yeah. But the community's got questioned things. The support of the towns and villages to them did bring it to attention, especially in a budget time. We'll just have to keep the pedal on that, because a couple years from now things will get quiet again and it will rear its ugly head. But we thank your work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Anyone else would like to comment? Okay. Recognition of the town board. Any town board comments?
No.
Good.
No comments.
All right. With that, you can make your motion, go into executive session.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to go into executive session. The topic is contractual and potential litigation, and no action will be taken.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.